Hey. It's Monday. I feel like at these points I just go in cycles of like, this is what I want to do, this is what I should be doing, and now I'm just at a point where I'm like, why aren't we doing it? Why? And I know, just give yourself some grace. I have been busy, I have been settling, I've had people over, I like just got back to the city, you know, I don't even have groceries yet, like all these things, so giving myself grace that I literally just haven't had the time. But we don't have to make the time. So I can't keep using that as an excuse, and I have to be intentional about how I set up my days, and I'm just saying the same things that I've been saying. But tomorrow finally, we are beginning. Fun employment has ended. We are now beginning self-employment. I mean, we already have. I literally had a gig today. So, just need to get back on it. And I think after taking some action and after taking a couple of steps and like doing things, I'll feel better. But right now I'm just in a state of frustration. So, there's just so many things that I have to do. Business-wise, life-wise. I need to trim my hair, like things like that. And I'm like, it's never ending. But that's not excuse. So, I will say my screen time is significantly down. Comparatively, it's still up, but comparatively to what it has been the past few weeks. So that's the plus, right? But we need to get our shit together. We're going to. Because at the end of this week, I want to look back as I'm editing this week's entry and be like, we did it. We got stuff done. So, consider this a warning, Hannah. Consider this a final notice of violation. It's time.
Hello, you're calling into Hannah Wanda Mugging Photography. Can I help you? That is the vibe and energy of today. The stark contrast between, I cannot speak. The stark contrast between yesterday night, or whenever I made the first one, and today, massively different. Y'all, I locked in. Y'all and me, we locked in today. We locked in. I'm very proud. I only worked 10:45, 11:45, 12:45, 1:45, 2:45, 3:45. Like 5 hours total. And I got a lot done, proving that you don't need 8 hours in a day to be getting stuff done. Again, I know I'm going to have to be putting in like more than 40-hour weeks, but I woke up a little late because I slept late. It was a whole thing. Like there were some distractions, but I got a good amount of stuff done for today. I'm really happy. For a day that wasn't structured, like I didn't have a structure in any capacity, I was like, that's pretty good. I've been keeping time, so I literally I've been keeping my time management, which is so funny because I hated doing this with my corporate job. A lot of us did. It was like too much micromanaging for me, but as someone who's now only in charge of me, I need to know how long it takes me to get stuff done. Excuse me. Because I need to be able to plan things out accurately, right? Like if I'm not just telling someone how long it'll take me to edit a photo for them, but like how long is it going to take me to do stuff? So everything down to how long I had a call with my mom, how long it took me to post stuff, how long it took me to text stuff. I even wrote out like how long it took me to read my daily emails, like everything. I'm keeping track of everything because I just want to collect data for the month to just know, and then create like little like monthly reports or like week reports of how much time am I spending on different things, what can I work on. I think weekly makes sense because I can make adjustments a little quicker. So that's nice, but really just trying to find like harmony with like being in the social space, as well as, you know, keeping up with what's happening in the world, as well as keeping up with my friends and text, as well as keeping up with my family, and obviously keeping up with like gigs and deliverables and like research that I want to do, projects that I want to work on, and scheduling and stuff. Like you just have to think so far out in advance because there's no manager doing that for me. There's no like creative director doing that for me. I have to do that all for myself. So feeling a little overwhelmed, but I feel good. I feel good that I've taken steps and that I've done stuff. I just needed to move. I just needed to start. You just need to go. So yeah. But we got a lot of work to do. In terms of just like, a lot of things. A lot of moving parts right now. And I just added a lot more on my plate because of this educational series that I successfully was able to pitch to many today with SOS. So that is something that I'm really excited about, but it's going to take a lot of work that I'm happy to do. It's just like, I need to think through things. So tomorrow, I'm kind of done working for today. I'm going to go, well, actually, maybe I'm not. I'm headed to the Schomburg Center with some friends. We're going to watch, it's like black music on film, like talking about the history of hip hop music. I want to spend a lot more time at the Schomburg Center. The first and only time I went there was I was doing a feature on, I believe her name's Kimberly. I want to say she was a digital archivist or digital. She had a role in the Schomburg Center, and we were doing a feature on her because she was a UNC Charlotte alumni, and UNC Charlotte contracted me anyway. And I want to spend more time there. I want to spend more time there researching. More time like going to their events, building community there. Like I just want to show up more in these amazing digital research archival spaces. So I looked at their events programmings, invited a friend that I thought would enjoy it, and she said yes, so she's on her way. So that being said, I've got a few minutes, so I'm gonna get ready quickly and make a quick lunch, and then I'm gonna walk there. I could take a bus, but we are saving money as much as we can. So those $3, it adds up, so we're gonna walk it. So I just need to leave. And one of my biggest like stereotypical resolution, because I have my like goal planning stuff, I don't count that as resolutions, but my resolution is to not be more than 10 to 15 minutes late somewhere. I've already kind of failed at that at a gig. I'm so sorry, Andrea, again. I was late, I mismanaged my time, but it's just, I just need to get better at that. And that means planning my time better. So already me being like, I'm gonna eat before I leave, I don't actually know if I have time for that. I'm gonna get ready, and by the time I finish getting ready, it's probably gonna, maybe I should keep data collection on how long it takes me to get ready. It's already 4:07, I need to leave here at 4:30. Do I? No, I don't. I don't have to leave here until 5. Oh, look at that. Just mentally gain more time. Anyway, all this to say, a great day. We have to do a lot of data collection, a lot of from scratch stuff. So I have not closed out my budget from last year, and I'm scared to look at anything this year, for this month, but I need to get that done. And I was looking at my calendar, I was like, it's already halfway through the month. Again, I was kind of freaking out. So today was just, I needed to get some stuff done. Tomorrow, I need to, I think, figure out some foundational things and close out my financial stuff from last year and, have a roadmap for this month and look and assess at my month goals for this month and get at least planning some of the stuff or scheduling everything. So feeling a bit overwhelmed, but I feel good. Ultimately, I feel good for having just moved. Sometimes you just need to go. You just need to make a move, even if it's not the best thing to be doing or best thing to be allocating your time to. And I definitely want to be good about doing my daily reflections and stuff, so I have a resource for that. So I'll utilize that just so I can remember these, and I'm hoping that maybe these will function as my stand down meetings. In consulting, I learned about stand up and stand down meetings, but it's update what happened in the day and what you're going to do for the day or whatever. Maybe this will function as that for me, to be okay, this is what we got done. Actually, no, because I don't want this to turn into a report. And also, this is going publicly. I don't necessarily want to be sharing every single thing, And it's probably better for me to write that down, because then there's time for me having to watch this back, and that's time that Anyway, whoa, let me go eat. Let me put the phone down. But very proud of you, Hannah. Today we did it. We locked in. We are getting it moving, and I just need to remind myself that Q1 is all about setting the foundation. There's no rush to get everything done in January. Have it all figured out in the next month, in the next few days. These first 3 months, even my goals that I set aside for the until the end of March is all about just get the foundation stuff done. Get the business registered, get all that stuff, figure all that stuff out in the next 3 months, not in January. And that way it'll help me ease a little better. And Q2 and Q3 is just when we'll go full force in terms of being able to make more informed decisions and actions, because the foundation was built a little more properly. And yes, I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been freelancing for 8 years on the side, but never as full time. And there's a lot of stuff where I could get by on, because I was like, I don't need to have an LLC. I've got this. It's not really my primary business. There's no point. And now I'm kind of damn girl, you should have just done that years ago, and we wouldn't have even worried about that. But that's okay. We're here now. Can't go back. Only learn. So we're going to take the time to figure that out. Anyway, let me get to it. But proud of you, and we'll see how we're feeling tomorrow.
Hello.
boy, do I have an update for y'all. Not really. Well, kind of. Today was another productive, great day. I started my day again at 10:45. I don't know if I mentioned, but yesterday I started around 10:30 a.m. And clocked in about 5 hours of work. Clocked in. Today, roughly the same amount of time, but I'm really like trying to see how much I can, what are my peak productivity hours. I hate, if you know me, you know I hate the word productivity. It just has so much connections to like capitalism and efficiency in the capitalistic sense. But I'm trying to assess my energy. Maybe that's a better way of thinking of it, of like when I am most, energetic and excited. I like that better. Excited to be working on work. Granted, everything that I'm doing is work, like in terms of even when I'm not working, and I'm like, yesterday we went to a history of hip hop and watched a film about hip hop in Tanzania and a film about hip hop in Cuba, and it was like beautiful Pan-Africanism, and then there was a panel discussion after, and that to me is work. Like cultural engagement, reading, like spending time with myself is it informs my creative practice and who I am and the artist that I can feel myself becoming and evolving into. So I guess like I'm always working, but clocking in the actual administrative, like when I'm sitting down or when I'm in conversation physically with people, like I am clocking that time just to get an understanding. I think I already talked about that yesterday, but I believe I clocked in about 5 hours of time today. I did my big one, which was I looked at the financials. That was really scary because I needed to close out last year, so November and December stuff. That was painful because I definitely did Black Friday shopping. I definitely did all for like gifts for people or essential photo needs stuff. Nothing. Well, I did do some shopping for like some clothes. It was my reward. And I did a lot of Christmas shopping, so it was painful looking at the numbers that I was planning and budgeting for this month, and I was like, I think I'm only gonna make like $500 this month. But I need to make like 2,000. Yeah, I need to make like do this. So it was just really funny. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm just staring at it. I'm like, the numbers don't match. So we gonna be in the red a little bit for a little minute. But I was also finishing All About Love that I'm reading in partnership with someone else, and it was really cool reading this. This is my second time reading it, and it really resonated this time around for many different reasons, just being in a different space in so many different facets of my life. But just there was one section, I forget in what part, I like tore this thing up with notes and highlights and stuff. But there was one section where she talks about love ethic and work and how visual mediums and visual artists have used mediums to show violence, and if maybe we like portrayed more of like films or visual imagery with like a love ethic and promoting love, then we would be in a different state as a society. And I thought that was really beautiful, and that's an oversimplification. You have to read the book to really understand how Belle is thinking about love, and it inspired me. I like wrote in the notes, I was like, oh, how can I bring a love ethic into my work? Which then I bought this at Gladys Bookstore. Go support Black business. And I bought this a while ago. It's also by Bell Hooks, Art on My Mind, Visual Politics. I didn't know this book existed, but it's literally all about visual politics in the Black community and how to develop your visual politic and like love ethic. And let's see, offers a tender yet potent suite of writings for a world increasingly concerned with art and identity politics. Essays, each with art at its center, explores both the obvious and obscure, from ruminations on the fraught representation of Black bodies to reflections on the creative processes of women artists to analysis of the use of blood in visual art. And I love this. It's just reading books like this, and there's another book about a woman who quit their job to for art, and like what did that mean to them. They went around the world talking to women who did similarly. Everything just feels in so much alignment, and I'm moving slow. I'm like, my day today was just like, what I've been doing is I'm known to, I'm on a different, I keep bouncing. If you lost a lot, like if you watched the first entry I did, I'd explain how my brain works. So if you didn't, then you're getting a glimpse into it right now. I bounce a lot. I tend to bounce a lot. I'm working on being more succinct and on the point, but that's not happening tonight. But where was I going? Oh my god, now I don't remember what I was gonna say.
I could pause this and look back, but I don't feel like doing that. We're talking about love ethic. I don't know. I don't remember what point I was trying to make, but yeah, it's really cool okay. In the past, I've been known I've known this about myself, is I will have a to-do list like packed. Even my mom will be like, you and your to-do list, like it's never ending. And I'm trying to be better at prioritizing like what actually needs priority. So waking up in the morning and assessing, okay, like what do I need to get done by tomorrow or by the end of this day, doing just 3 or 4 things. And then I've made like little stars, which are like add-ons, like nice to get done today, but not necessary. So I got through almost everything today, only one thing left. And that felt like a good way to do it. And I actively scheduled in my like time to read. When am I gonna cook? Like I know I have to call my mom, so I'll cook at that time. I know I have to leave the apartment to go somewhere to meet up about the show that I'm doing and look at the space, so I'm gonna call my brother as I'm getting ready. I know I have this window of time, so I'm going to read the book here. I know I have to finish the book by today to have it ready for discussion by the end of the night. So I know I can save 2 chapters to read on the train because it's an hour-long train to where I was going. So just like really thinking through intention of the day, not just like, oh, let me finish this, and then I'm looking at the time and I'm like, I gotta rush through this. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was a very slow day, but like productive. Like I got everything besides one thing done. So I feel great. I think the biggest thing now for me to capitalize on is I just need more time, and that means that I can't be waking up at 10:45 and starting my day then, because that doesn't take into account getting ready, and I want to have my like slow morning routine. So we're going about it this way. I don't remember if I talked about this yesterday, but I really want to add like to the ideal life that I'll be living at the end of this year is like each day is structured for a specific thing, right? So like my Wednesdays will be the days that I wander around the city. This isn't the actual one. I don't think I'll ever share my exact structure for safety reasons, but let's say like Wednesdays I say, okay, that's my outdoor day. Like I'm going to make sure to go to the museum. I'm going to walk around the city and, take my camera with me. Like I want to daily be doing walks to get fresh air and sunlight, but also take my camera with me, get to know the neighborhood more, get used to people seeing me with the camera and developing relationships. Like I want to be regularly volunteering during the middle of the work days, to take breaks in between and to contribute to my community. Like I want to do all these things, but I first have to establish a baseline foundation of a routine, and thankfully I have the structure for that. I just have to get back to it. So that's going to involve me having to wake up in the morning if I want to make sure that I'm filling my life intentionally just to get ready and process and get ready for the day. So, but I've been like easing into it. I've been giving myself grace of being like, okay, like we just finally got some free time, so we're going to use, get what you can done in the next few days, but we're gonna slowly ease into stuff. So it's still a little late. Ideally I'd be going to bed around 9, but and it's probably almost 11 right now, but tomorrow we're gonna try and wake up at 9. Ideally I'll be waking up at 7. I woke up early today. I just went back to sleep is the issue, but committing to waking up at 7 and then moving through the day, so that way I can get a little bit more done, and I can bring in and pull in a little more of my routine and add new things, maybe 2 new things a day that I want to be consistent, so that by the end of this quarter, hopefully I'll have the addition. Once I have the baseline foundation routine done, I'll have the add-ons of, okay, let's add in the volunteering. Like I don't want to add everything that I want to do at one time because then I'll get overwhelmed. Let's get baseline stuff handled, figured out, and then we can go from there, if that makes sense. So that's a reminder to you, Hannah, because I've been finding so many different things. Even like yesterday on my way to the hip hop event, like I was seeing so many resources and cool things around the neighborhood, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I've never taken the time to look around me. And I was like, okay, wait, don't overwhelm yourself. Like we have things that we need to focus on, and we have to ease ourselves into routine before we overload, or else I'm gonna burn out very, very quickly. So that is the theme of this quarter, of the next 3 months. At this point, 2.5 months. January is basically almost over. I remember January always being the slowest month, but this time around it's been very fast. But yeah, I'm very proud of myself for having gotten done the financials. That was a big one. That was a scary one. That was the one that's like, we're gonna look at numbers, but that's information that's important. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to see what tomorrow brings.
I'm also really proud of myself because one of my goals is to not be 10 to 15 minutes late somewhere. So I've been intentionally like thinking about things where I'm like, okay, if I know this is happening in a few hours, what if I just wore what I needed to wear now? Or like prep my hair. And so like if I like, you know, you'll see it's like kind of in like waves or something right now. What I did was during the day, I wet it, put oil on it, like whatever, put my serums on it and braided it down on both sides so that when it was time to go, all I had to do was release the braids, hair is done, versus like giving myself 20 minutes to get ready for something that I'm gonna need like 45 minutes to do, and then that's how I end up late to things. It's a whole thing. And it worked out perfectly. I arrived early today, and I arrived on time the past few days. I only had one discrepancy where I was a little late somewhere. So that is a good thing. I'm really like being like, okay, like what if we did? And it's like nice because now I'm not rushing. Like I felt so calm. Like I don't think anything spiked chemically or anything today because I was just like, everything was just kind of smooth because I planned it to be. Like, whoa, this is what happens, huh? So anyway, a lot of good feelings, a lot of good thoughts today. Very proud of myself. Very proud of you, girl. Very proud of you. You're also looking great today. Can we just take a moment? And I was also supposed to wash my hair today, and I made a real like assessment of like, girl, do we really have time for that? And if I tried to fit that in today, it wouldn't have been great. I wish I'd done that yesterday, because yesterday I stayed up till 2 a.m. because at like 10:30 p.m. I decided to start trimming my hair. Not having trimmed it I usually trim it once a month. And so it'd been accumulated for a while. I was up until 2 a.m. trimming. I have a lot of hair. I was like, that was not a smart decision. Yes, it was something that I had to do, but it was not the smartest decision to decide to do it at that time. So I'm getting better about making judgments in terms of like when is a good time to actually start something. So today I was like, yes, I need to wash my hair, but we only have like 4 hours before I have scheduled calls and I need to leave the apartment. So that doesn't make sense for me to start a process that's going to take an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? Or else, you know, whatever. I just like, yeah, anyway, I can keep going. But I'm very proud of you, Hannah girl. So we're gonna get ready for bed to get to bed, and I will tap in tomorrow. Let's bring this energy tomorrow. Let's bring this optimism into the next day. Proud of you.
What's up, chat? Shout out Speed for your tour in Ethiopia. I hope you don't raise the prices, but you're doing a big one for real. You know, maybe people will stop asking us if there's food in Ethiopia and if our people are still starving. That'd be great. Today did not go as planned. I got one thing done. I did wake up a little earlier. Commotion for me, please. I woke up like an hour earlier than usual. We're slowly getting to like early morning wake ups, and now I just need to go to bed on time. It's like 11:30, so clearly that's not happening this time. And I have food in the microwave. I plan on staying up just to like eat, which, okay, eating, not trying to do like some disordered stuff. I've never experienced that. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on a like logistical level is so much fucking work. It's a scam. You always have to be thinking about food, especially when you're training, which I haven't been training, but I should be training for a marathon. That's literally in a month. You have to eat, like, it already is hard enough to be like, okay, I always have to be thinking about food. You make the food. It takes so much time to make. You eat the food, and then you got to be thinking about the next time you got to eat. Then add like the energy levels that you need to consume and the calories for running marathons. Boy, this shit's a scam. So I've been on a 2-day streak of eating 3 meals a day. I'm trying to get back my energy levels before I go back into training for marathon, because if I haven't been eating well and I don't have my calorie reserves, and then I just go straight into running, which I haven't done I haven't done more than 3 miles since November 2nd, and it's January in the teens. I knew if I went straight into running and I didn't get my baseline of energy levels from food up, it would be terrible. It would take me forever to recover. I'd be exhausted. So I'm trying to get that back up, and in a few days I'm going to get to running again. Thankfully, with long distance running, endurance is kind of built in. It's not something you really lose. It's just regaining strength and retraining your body to consume the energy that you want it to. So the next month for me is just going to be focused on strengthening my legs again. But otherwise, I'm not concerned about like the cardio and endurance level required, because that kind of
carries on, which is nice about running. It's not like weight training where if you lose a day or two, you lose progress. So I have that to rely on, and I have experience in past marathons where, for whatever reasons, the last month or 6 weeks didn't work out, and I didn't get to train, and I still was able to do it. Hopefully, I just want one marathon cycle. I just want one marathon cycle where I have like fully just done the entirety of the training. One day, that'll happen. I was hoping it'd be this one, but with being away, home, like, there was no way for me to run, and it's cold, so I just couldn't run. I didn't have the resources to. Now that I'm back, it's just been trying to, get back into things, and like, I usually prefer running in the cold over the summertime, but, and I was ready to run today, but then it was like the coldest day of the week so far, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. So we're gonna get back to it this weekend. But yeah, I hear the microwave beeping, being like, your food's ready, and I'm like, ah. You heard that? Literally a microwave beeping. Today, I got one big thing done. I went to go co-work with a friend, but co-working with a friend ended up being like 5 hours of yapping, which I will never regret. Time spent with a friend at all. But there's time and place. So I need to be better about like discipline in that way. The good thing is we both knew going into this we're probably going to yap because it was a catch-up session as well. So we both got the priority things that we needed to get done, or like before we saw each other, which I think was good. So like I'm glad that I got that done, or else I would have to be staying up and working on that. That was like my primary thing to get done for today. So that's good. It just kind of feels like I had like a good 2 days of like a good balance of working and getting a couple, like I've again been clocking in 2 5-hour days. Today I maybe only got like 2 hours of work done. So and then tomorrow is gonna be really busy. So Saturday I wanted to just focus on like my personal skill stuff, like my skill development for this quarter, sewing, and my curriculum development. That's what I wanted to just focus on Saturday, but I think I'm gonna have to do some work stuff as well. I mean, it's like I'm trying to figure out the boundaries of, do I get my weekends or whatever, and my Sunday is really packed. So and then Monday I definitely want to take the same holidays off as like everyone else. So Monday's MLK Day, so that day I'm planning to just do volunteer stuff and go to some talks. So then it's like, oh, okay, like you just gotta like plan things out, and January's almost done. So yeah, but only spent $6 today, and that was on train, so that was a win. I took my food with me. My friend took me out for lunch. He was like, I was in your position a couple years ago, so I got you. I was like, that's, everyone's being so nice and kind and understanding. I love that. Okay, my food's beeping, and I'm just spending more time chatting here, and that's more time taken away that I could be sleeping. So I'm gonna go eat, read a little bit, and then tomorrow's a new day, and we'll see what happens then. But great day overall, 10 out of 10. Hi, good morning. Yes, I didn't record the past 2 days. I really went to bed with the intention of it yesterday and just entirely forgot. I was like, I need to go to bed, and I forgot. Not much to update, really. I think, it's Sunday today. I am gonna go do some work. I do want to do a better job integrating like my personal goals. So on my Notion universe, I have it separated by business and like photo related goals, and then my personal, self-development goals. So I feel that I've been focusing more on the photo stuff rather than the personal things. So for example, like my Q1 goal is sewing, and I haven't touched a sewing machine, my sewing machine. So I think I'm gonna do that today. I want to edit some photos out and do like one grant that I think is due. Then I'm gonna maybe tap into that. But I do have some fun activities with friends that are like crafting, hands-on related later today, so that will kind of satisfy it. But I do want to do better at that. And then my second takeaway from this past week of my first week being officially self-employed, in the sense of like actually mentally focusing on things, I need to go harder. I do need to go harder, and I've been like averaging waking up around 10 a.m. I need to be waking up at 5 a.m. I think that will bring about a significant difference and progress, because I've already been doing pretty well with just my 5 hours a day of working. We need to up that to like 10 hours a day. I have the capacity for it. I think I've settled into the city. So I am looking forward to really going in, going at it. I tried to wake up at 5 today because I was like, you know, let's just like rip the band-aid off, but I didn't go to bed till like 1 in the morning, so that didn't work. I went back to bed. So I woke up at 10 today. But tonight I will be going to bed. I'll be intending to go to bed. So that's the plan, but we do need to go a little harder. There's no one here to push me to go harder. It's only me. So I'm mandating that for myself, but feeling pretty good. I think, I'm trying to remember, there was one day, I think it was the first day that I didn't record, like 2 days ago, I compiled updated grant lists. So a lot of cool opportunities have come through, focusing a lot on equally spending time on residencies, grants, and exhibition opportunities. Casting a wide net into anything and everything right now. That can pay the bills, really, and give me time to research and work on some projects. I have so many awesome ideas. I'm biased, but I think they're awesome. So I just want the time to focus on those and, you know, get paid for them. What is it with residencies wanting you to pay them? Isn't the whole point, like, for them to pay for you to be there? Like, why am I sending you $1,000 to be here? I may as well just rent out a room. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that's so interesting. So I'm not even bothering with those. I'm not bothering with the ones that make you pay fees to apply. There's one that I'm willing to, but nothing more than $20. I also think that's ridiculous. I mean, I get it. I get the fee to apply. As someone who was working with the group to try and do something of that, like we were trying to have an exhibition, we were trying to combat the cost of the space because we couldn't get one for free, and we're like, we may have to charge application fees for that. So I get it. I understand that. I have way more empathy and understanding of that versus like residencies that make you pay 1+K to be there. What? I have seen some exhibition opportunities, but it's like if you get accepted, you have to pay and handle all the shipping and stuff. I already did that in London. I ain't doing that again. You know, those prints never came back. I spent 200 something pounds plus to get them printed, the prints, plus whatever the fee was to get it delivered back to me after, and the Royal Mail lost them. So I never got those back. That's like $300, $400 down the drain. So I ain't doing that shit again. I say as I'm doing that shit again, I have a solo show coming up at a friend's place. So it's very intimate, private only. And I'm literally paying for the frames and the printing, but that's different though. That's way different. This was a big organization, and they, you know, would have been fine if they didn't lose it. They didn't lose it, the Royal Mail did. It's a whole thing. It's a whole fiasco that I'm still 1 year later working on the back end for. So we just don't have the money to drop like that. That was okay last year because I had a bonus that hit my account. We gotta check. Sheesh. Okay. This is a sign to go get food. So I'm gonna start my day. But it's a good week. I think it's a good ease-in week. But we gotta go harder. And I have the capacity to. And I have the routine to. And I do have an international trip coming up in like 2 weeks. So, you know, I'm not gonna be working at that time. So I really I'm glad I just said that out loud, because that puts into perspective that I'm going to have to like compensate for that week off. Because it's not like I can take a day off and I have a colleague that can hold things over while I'm not there. No. Gotta go hard because I'm not taking my laptop with me. So we gonna go harder starting today. So I will check in with y'all in the new week tomorrow.